Allan Watts, philosopher, says, anything you can be interested in, you'll find others who are. And when I realized, like, yeah, I like making albums about space, and I like, anime and cartoons and like all this other stuff, I didn't realize that there was a whole world of people out there that felt like they didn't have that voice in music or in hip hop. And when I realized that, I was like, wow, I really believe this. As a musician, I've checked every, from the money, the fame, being recognized, selling out arenas around the world, like I've done it all. I even went to the Grammys. I feel like I won that night. All these amazing artists who like mess with me, I've shaken their hands and they're like, keep going, brother. Like, but that night was mine. I got to perform. It was really amazing. So that I think is the only thing on my list of things I wanted was a Grammy. And now I'm like, I don't even give a damn. I've like even made music because I wanted to be loved or tried to be perceived as, I've always been like a biracial nerd who loves Rubik's Cubes, as you know. And now that I'm here, I'm like, it's so dope to be able to be myself. But even still, there was a part of me that maybe wanted to try to make certain songs or sound a certain way to be accepted by, like, that's what's really wild to me. It's like, why young people care so much to be accepted. Like, you can't stand out and fit in at the same time. This kid that I when he was 11 years old, I picked him out of the crowd and he came on stage and rapped my whole gang related. And he was rapping it all. Get down to lay down, hit you with the Beretta, you better stay down, straight shot at 11. And he was like, Mom, can I say the bad words and all this? And I signed him. He's a producer. He's 14 now. And then there's this incredible queen. Her name is Nezi Mamadou. Came to America when she was 15 from, oh my God, why can't I think of it right now? From Africa, Nigeria. And she was just rapping. I'm just looking at this chick just rap. And like nobody really knows who she is. And so I hit her up and I'm like, yo, you are dope. Like, you are dope. Like, you're one of the illest rappers I've ever heard. Like, male, woman, like none of that. Like, you are just the dopest. And she was like, oh my God. I was like, will you be on my album? She was like, what? Damn. Like, she like almost cried. Like, she couldn't believe it. And I was like, yo, you're amazing. She was like, I'm just a regular schmegular. I work in finance. I was like, girl, you ain't regular nothing. You are beautiful. You're amazing. But like, we have the power to change someone's life. Whether we put them on our album, we give them a verse, we tweet out their stuff one time. That's how it is. It's not a contest. It's not a this and a that. And I think if you're just an open-minded person and you're a student and you're ready to learn, then that's dope. I think this younger generation is cool. It's like, yeah, do your thing. Like, whatever. I'm not mad at it, by any means. But when I meet young people, especially like in their 20s, or even my assistant, Stacy, I found this dude on TikTok and now he's my assistant. He's one of the illest musicians I've ever heard. That means a lot to me. And I'm just trying to, keep the peace, love, and positivity. I can't believe it's been 10 years and I'm still blessed and relevant enough to be able to come. I think it's having the due diligence to understand where you come from. It's like when you ask the RZA, why did the Wu-Tang Clan do a record with Logic? Like, y'all could have done a record with anybody. Why Logic? And he was like, because he's a mixed brother of the culture who understands and has done his due diligence and taken the time to respect this art and this craft. And I'm a student. I'm still learning every day, dog. I look at cats like M and I'm like, man, he's just doing him. And that's what inspires me. My whole thing is peace, love, and positivity. And also that you're in control of yourself. This was a couple years ago, and this was like a big transition moment for me. I was probably like 29. I was like 29. And I was like, man, feeling like I gotta be this or that or da-da-da-da. And you were like, you know what? This industry we're in is an industry of enough. Yeah. Good enough, hood enough, this enough, black that enough, black enough, da-da-da. And Big Boy said, you are enough. It could make me cry right now. I'm not on social media. I haven't been on social media in a couple years now. Every once in a while I'll peek in and just like post something funny or something because I want the fans to know it's directly from me. Right. But I used to be on Twitter and all that all day, all the time. And I just don't think humans in general should be processing that much information. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. All right. You walk out as a human being, 1,000 years ago on an open, you're coming out of the jungle to an open plain. All right. You're not going to walk out of that jungle and look at the sky and go, wow, it's beautiful. Because it's like 10 lions over there. Right. So you're looking for that lion so that you can get past that to then be safe. And I think that mentality, that way of thinking is how we now still view social media. We're looking for the lions, still looking for that. Because it's like innate, it's like in us. And then I'm like, well, I'm just not gonna go on the plane. I'm gonna be chilling in this tree over here, like enjoying the sky from there off social media. So when I took that out of the equation, that's what really made me a lot happier. And it's not that I'm ignoring it. It's not that I'm pretending that it doesn't exist or I don't acknowledge that somebody might not like this album or that or whatever. It's just the decision that I've personally made for my well-being. I mean, even the album Vinyl Days, yo, it's like the most boom bap, MPC, Dilla, RZA, No ID vibes. Like, that's what it is. If I wanted to make a bunch of money and I'd have just done another Bobby Tarantino and got yoked again. Because also the internet is completely different than it was 10 years ago. I think it was a nicer place. It's how I connected directly to my fans, constantly, like literally talking to them. And then as it became this cesspool of negativity, it's like literally when I go and I'm like, peace, love, and positivity. And the first comment is, I hope your baby dies. So then you see that and you think about that and it's like, yeah, you know, your baby and your wife's ugly as hell and da-da-da and this, and it's you. I was just like, I can't read this anymore. And the thing that was so difficult for me, that's not where the tears came from. The tears came from, damn, this relationship and this connection that I've had with my fans directly is over now. Like I can't do that anymore. But for every tweet you don't see from me, for every post you don't see from me on Instagram, that's a lyric in an album. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna go places where somebody's gonna kiss my ass. Like I said, you keep it real. Whether you agree with what somebody's saying or doing or not, you still have the respect and the wisdom as a man to have a conversation.
Yes, sir.
A lot of other people like to rile up and get you all in your feelings and this and that for some headline, you know, to last for 30 seconds in the middle of a day on a hashtag. I'm not with that. Also, when it comes to all that stuff, like I learned to let it go. Cause it's like, how many hits can you have? How many number ones can you have? How many billions of streams can you, like I've hit the pinnacle. I really believe this. As a musician, I've checked from the money, the fame, being recognized, selling out arenas around the world, like I've done it all. I even went to the Grammys. I feel like I won that night. I'm so happy I didn't just like come out the gate and blew up. Like I had this really slow burn because like I worked so hard, man.
Yeah, man.
For so long. And like now, like I'm here. And then so when I got the worldwide smash with 1-800, it wasn't even trying. Cause like my whole career, I was like, gotta get a hit. And then once it happened, you know, I felt so solidified as an artist with my fan base, the Rat Pack, that then boom, it's like I was a household name and I'm at the Grammys and the VMAs and all this other stuff. I was like, I'm about to Tiger Woods, we about to follow through. And then that's when I came with like the bangers and I'm working with Marshmello and I'm making pop music and trap music and I made a hell of a lot of money. And now I'm here and I'm like, well, I made my money, I made my baby, you know, and I'm happy. I'm about to just be rapping, dog. I'm so happy I'm me, man. And I used to not want to be me. I wanted to be K-Dot, because who doesn't want to be K-Dot? I wanted to be Drake. I wanted to be Cole. I wanted to be all these people. And I'm happy that they're them and I'm me. And I love my brothers and I love myself. And I'm just like, yo, this is me, take it or leave it. For so long, because even before this, we were talking about like 20s and how you kind of find yourself in your 20s and in your 30s, you really feel comfortable. And I'm like feeling that. And obviously, like I ain't perfect, but I used to be scared being Logic, you know what I mean? Like every time I would step in an interview, I always was like, felt like I was on guard. And now I'm like, I don't give a damn.
Right.
Because of that baby.